Spoilers, the art of destroying someone's first experience with a medium, be it a book, a game, a movie, or intercourse. Also, did you know that Voldemort dies at the end of Harry Potter? Just a fun fact. Anyways, before we start, I want to make some things very clear. If you go out of your way to spoil someone, then you are a huge dick. If you, upon hearing a spoiler, you immediately start whining about it, you are also a huge dick. Now that I pissed everyone off, let's just start. Like I mentioned before, a spoiler is the act of revealing someone something about a medium that they're experiencing for the first time, like the Akechi betrayal in Persona 5. Depending on who you ask, that something can be the language of the medium you're experiencing or the complete description of the medium, but everyone will have a different take on it. I would say spoilers are on a spectrum. On the one side, we have spoilers that can have, by any measurement, be it subjective or objective, any impact on your first viewing experience. An example would be the language of a movie. If there are non-translations, of course, you wouldn't understand the movie, obviously. But it can't really reveal anything about the story of the movie. In rare cases, it may reveal something about the movie, because generally speaking, for example, German movies are either crime dramas, thrillers, or thriller crime dramas. So knowing that's a German movie, it's probably one of those three, or a comedy. On the other side, we have spoilers that can basically replace the first viewing experience. For example, if you have the complete transcript of a movie. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you have like a 60-page transcript where every scene is described really well, including how the actors should react, then that can pretty much replace the first viewing experience. As you can see, it's difficult to explain what a spoiler actually is, because everyone will have a different take on it, and everyone will have a different spoiler spectrum and a different take on what a spoiler can actually be and what counts as a spoiler. What might be a spoiler for person A might not be a spoiler for person B, and what might be important to person B might be completely inconsequential to person C, and so on. So yeah, kind of difficult to define a spoiler. I personally don't give a shit about spoilers, so when I'm using the word spoilers, I mean literally everything about the medium that you're experiencing, including language and transcripts. Well, that also depends on who you ask. For some, it expires after day 1, and for some, it lasts forever. Also, did you know that at the end of JoJo Part 5, Best Mom Bruno Bucciarati dies? I assume he's an angel. There's heavenly imagery around him, but I don't really know. It's just a theory I have. If someone, for example, was born in the 80s and never heard anything about Star Wars, gets spoiled in 2020 about the fact that Darth Vader is Luke's father, I don't think anyone would care. But there could be someone out there that would consider revealing that fact as a huge spoiler. And every time you mention that Princess Leia is Luke's sister, you should put a spoiler warning before that. Those would be the people that think that spoilers last forever. And they are not entirely wrong, because it is a spoiler still, even though we have like this common knowledge of it. We also have people that think after day 1 everything is up for grabs, because if you didn't experience it day 1, you should expect spoilers. Like the fact that Tony Stark dies at the end of Endgame. And by the way, Endgame... Fuck Endgame's time travel, okay? Endgame's time travel sucks! Like every movie with time travel. Time travel sucks in general. Fuck time travel. Again, there is no defined spoiler half-life, and as time goes on, there will be people that are born in a world where the original medium is so far away that everything about that medium could be considered a huge spoiler again. Just because we are surrounded by this vague knowledge of certain media, it doesn't mean that people that are born today will have the same vague knowledge. If spoilers themselves are on a spectrum, I would say the half-life of a spoiler is on a kind of curve. The further the spoiler is away from the original medium, the less it's considered a spoiler, but we reach a point in time where the spoiler is so far removed from the original medium that it can be considered a spoiler again. And maybe that is why the half-life of spoilers can be all over the place depending on who you ask, because It's kind of weird. Also, did you know that G-Man stops dying in Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and the game ends on a cliffhanger? Also, Alex's dad is saved by the G-Man in Half-Life Alyx. It's about the surprise. That's literally everything there is to it. That's literally the only reason. For some people, the first experience is so magical that they want this first experience to be completely and utterly untainted and devoid from any pre-knowledge that can be considered spoiler. Yeah, something like that. Having pre-knowledge about the medium will change your experiencing for sure. You can't experience the thing for the first time if you know something about the thing. I agree 100% with that. We don't disagree here if you are for or against spoilers. The surprise is definitely gone. I can't deny that. But if the thing you're experiencing only works on the concept of you not knowing what happens, then it only works once, and that to me makes it automatically unenjoyable. Here are a few examples where knowing certain things about the medium actually enhances your experience. The Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis is a ghost all along, and if you know that, some scenes are gonna make way more sense and it's gonna be fucking amazing. Fight Club. Tyler Durden is an alternative personality of Norton. If you know that, some scenes are gonna be fucking hilarious. Memento. The movie spoils itself, and there's still some things I could tell you about it. For example, that the main protagonist, even though his mind is gone, he still has some agency about his own mind, and he purposely hunts the person that helped him kill the killer that killed his wife. Kind of. It's a weird story. Bioshock. Atlas is Frank Fontaine, the smuggler who led to Rapture's downfall. Also, watch out for the sentence, would you kindly, or yeah, something like that. Star Wars The Old Republic. You are actually Revan all along. Somehow the Star Wars team, or the people that write the Star Wars stories, the games at least, really like Revan, They really like him. The Witcher. Alvin was the Grandmaster of the Order of the Flaming Rose, Jacques de Aldesberg all along. Also, fuck time travel again. How the fuck did I keep sneaking in time travel? Holy shit. Those movies or games work even better when you know the mystery. The mystery is also so unimportant that it doesn't even matter if you know anything about the movie or game, because it's about the execution. You could read the complete transcript of these media, and it would actually enhance your viewing experience even more, because you would start noticing things that you can't notice if you don't know certain information. Do you get my point? Am I explaining this correctly? It doesn't matter if you have information beforehand, because it's the execution that makes it good. Just knowing a plot point or mechanic or character's name doesn't destroy your experience overall. It does destroy your first experience, but I really couldn't give two shits about the first experience. Here's the thing. The first time you have sex, it will probably fucking suck. Knowing how to have sex will probably enhance your first experience. But you know what? The more you do it, the better it gets. And sex is still enjoyable after the 100th time. So yeah, checkmate atheists. Also, if you dig deeper and go into more research-heavy stuff, you will soon find out that most people actually enjoy the media they're experiencing more, knowing what will happen in it. And there's a reason for that, and that is because our brain actually doesn't like surprises. Surprises, if you think about it, are things that our brain predicted wrongly. And one thing that our brain fucking hates is being wrong. That includes me, by the way. That's like, I'm not outside of that. After you watched, played, or read something, you've already spoiled yourself. From then on, you can't experience the thing for the first time again. You can't have this magical first experience that people value so much. From my perspective, an artwork can only truly shine once it's observed for a while. An untainted first impression or viewing is a nice to have, but the art you're observing should at least be enjoyable for a little while. And sure, there are certain media that can only be enjoyed once. And by spoiling those, you would actually take away all the value from that medium away. But those are few and far between. I can't even come up with an example because I don't have one. Never has a spoiler actually destroyed all my experience. As I mentioned before, I think if you intentionally go out of your way to spoil someone, your PP is small. Your PP, very small. Daenerys kills a bunch of innocent people at the end of Game of Thrones. Also, Jon Snow murders her afterwards. Good luck with that. Fuck you, Game of Thrones nerds. No, I don't mean it like I don't give a shit. Independently of what I think about spoilers, and independently on how nonsensical spoilers are to me, it shouldn't spoil people. But if you are on a public platform, meaning Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc., you have to expect spoilers. Especially this video. This video about spoilers. If you think I won't spoil you, you are a fucking idiot. Everyone can say everything on a public platform. Therefore, it's unrealistic to think you won't be spoiled on those platforms. If you don't want your experiences to be spoiled, then leave the internet. Turn off your PC, turn off your smartphone, throw the TV out of the fucking window, shut down every electronic device ever that is connected to any information source you can get, and live as a hermit. It's the only way. We live in a world where information travels so fucking fast. Do you really think you're not gonna get spoiled anywhere? You can try to fucking ban every keyword on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, whatever. But like, you're on the internet, of course you're gonna get spoiled. If reviewers can't talk about spoilers and have to dance around the plot of a movie, game, or book, it is really difficult for them to make any statement about the experience. And since it has become socially unacceptable to spoil in a review, it has become increasingly difficult to actually listen to review of media and listen to what they actually have to say, because most of them avoid of anything because you can't spoil, so you can't talk about the thing that makes the thing, you know? Companies actually fucking love that. If you don't know anything about a medium, you're more likely to just consume it without informing yourself if the product is even something you would enjoy, or if it's good. Nobody would buy a car without knowing how fast it can drive, what color it has, if it has automatic or manual shift, and what fuel it uses, how many seats it has, etc. But for movies, games, and books, the same rules don't apply. Why? Yeah, I know. A car and a movie or game are not the same thing, but both are consumer products, and you can derive entertainment from both of them. They might be two completely different things on the outset, but conceptually, they are pretty fucking similar. You going into a movie or buying a game without knowing anything about the movie or game is pretty much you just buying a car without knowing what car it is, or just buying a car based on fucking advertisement. But if you know something about the medium I experience, I might be biased. I might be biased if I know something about the thing I'm experiencing for the first time. No shite, Sherlock. Sure, you might want to be unbiased to judge a medium fairly. But, guess what? For you to judge a product fairly and unbiased, you would need to be objective. And that is a really hard fucking process. And it's a process, not like a once and done thing. Like, you have to keep redoing the same thing again and again and really trying to figure out what is the objective truth about that thing. It's a process. It's not like one and done. No. It takes a long time. Since I couldn't give two shits about spoilers, I never had a problem with reviewing anything. But what is happening more and more is these excessive spoiler warnings, and they are fucking annoying me. They really fucking annoy me. If I watch a review of something that I want to experience, I expect to be spoiled. You are watching a Melly Damn review. It's idiotic not to expect spoilers if you're watching a video that is literally dissecting the thing you want to experience. What the actual fuck? Full disclosure, I never played The Last of Us, and I don't like this type of games that are more movies than games and where the gameplay and the cinematics are completely disjointed. I will not play The Last of Us 1, and I don't plan to play The Last of Us 2. I could care less about The Last of Us. Is this clear? I don't give a shit. For anyone that is not living under a rock, The Last of Us got leaked, kind of. Apparently you play half of the game as Ellie and half of the game as Abby, a new character. Joel, the protagonist of the last game, dies by the hands of Abby. Ellie's girlfriend is pregnant and they want to raise a family together. Abby kills Ellie at the end of the game and the cycle of revenge continues on with Ellie's GF seeking revenge on Abby. As I understand it, a lot of people are kind of pissed about it because a lot of people are invested in Joel and Ellie, and killing them both without having a really good reason for it would probably kill the interest in the franchise. Pretty much like Han Solo got killed by Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren in Force Awakens, or how my boy Finn got robbed of his hero moment in The Last of Jedi, or how Kylo Ren just dies at the end of Rise of Skywalker for what explanation, even though Rey can use the fucking Force to heal anyone. Since I don't have any interest in The Last of Us, it sounds to me like a typical revenge story, and even though I've heard that apparently this is a bad, people will still buy it, even though they claim they won't. I'm pretty sure most people don't give a shit, and at the end of the day, it's about the fucking money. The game will still make millions, and the developers will still get robbed of their bonuses because people will leave bad reviews and review bomb at the beginning. But who am I to judge a big corporation? I'm a fucking hypocrite. Just because you know that this Last of Us thing is a revenge story, and you know the names of the characters and the major plot points, you still have to play the game. You knowing that Joel will die doesn't destroy the surprise or the game. If the scene only works if you don't know that Joel dies, then it's a badly executed scene. At the end of the day, it's about the execution, like I mentioned before, many times. Knowing that you will play Abby has no impact on the gameplay. The gameplay has impact on the gameplay. Even if you know how the game plays in and out, you still have to experience the gameplay for yourself. The experience doesn't get washed away just because you know something about the game. The story just suddenly just vanish in thin air just because you know something. If the gameplay or the story only works if you don't know how the story works or the gameplay works, then both are shite. Coming back to my car comparison. A car costs a lot of money, and I'm sure before anyone buys a car, you investigate every nook and cranny, and you look for any discrepancies and so on. Heck, you might even take it to a test drive before making the decision, because the car costs a lot. If you are invested in The Last of Us, you should absolutely know as much as possible about the story of the second game. You're paying upwards to $60 for the game. You should know exactly what you're getting, because you will probably spend the next 6 or 8 hours playing that game. $60 is a lot of fucking money. Sure, it can't have the magical first experience that a lot of people praise so much, but I never understood it. And trust me, I fucking tried. I really tried. I tried to understand why people value this magical first experience so much, and I could never ever understand. So here's a challenge or a question for you, for anyone that thinks spoilers are really important and we should blast everything with spoiler warnings, because I want to know it. So, why is the first experience so important? Leave the answer in the comments. You can also leave the definition of what is a spoiler for you and what the half-life of a spoiler is. That would make my job much easier. I really would like to know if you can answer that, and it's a really good argument. I will pin it in the comment section. The very concept of spoilers is dumb. If you spoil, you're dumb. Don't go out of the way to spoil someone. Like, this is a video about spoilers, you should expect spoilers. But other than that, don't do it. Like, you don't need to. It's like, I don't care about spoilers, but like, don't be a fucking dick. If you whine about spoilers, though, you're also dumb. If you get spoiled, who gives a shit? Holy fuck. You have to still experience the thing for yourself. Don't give a shit about spoilers. And then just the whole thing wouldn't even matter. If you don't want to be spoiled, leave the internet. The best way to not get spoiled is living as a hermit and every like 6 months come into a cinema, watch all the movies and play all the games without meeting anyone or talking to anyone. I'm sure people will fight about the whole topic. You have my blessings, go at it, fight. Also, don't be civil, just follow YouTube's TOS. But rip each other apart. I want to see blood in the comment section, like war. I want to see all out war. The people that think spoilers are important, and the people that think spoilers are completely stupid. Humans, you have my blessings. Go at it. Everyone else, thanks for watching this video. I might be wrong on everything. I'm pretty much open for it, but you have to deliver a really good argument to convince me that I'm wrong. Take care of yourselves. And have a nice day.